Paul, you made some brilliant points last week on the Rams that were right on the money. So I'm going to hand this over to you.
Yeah, this Rams team, with all the terrible, terrible news that's happening in Los Angeles, like just how they put it all together, like not just the team, but their families. Even I heard that like their pets traveled with them to Arizona to stay there for this game. And yeah, they were epic in that game. They were absolutely brilliant. Like the pressure sacked Darnold 9 times. I know the meme, they made him see those ghosts from the Jets days. Yeah, he saw ghosts. Well, they weren't ghosts, they were real. They were Jared Verse and the rest of the Rams D line, like in his face all day. But that's the Rams rushing the passer. This week, they're going against a team who don't pass the ball a lot. They run the ball a lot. And let's remember this earlier matchup in Los Angeles. I think it was the first play from scrimmage. I'm sure it was the first play from scrimmage. Saquon took it 80 to the house. Rob sent me a crazy, like, laughing emoji message that he had Saquon over 100 and it had come in the quarter and him to score one of those kind of bets. But this Rams team, this Rams D line, they're great at rushing the passer, but they're not great at stopping the run. And the Eagles are going to run the ball and they're going to keep running it at you. And they have an elite offensive line. They have the best, shall we say? Yeah. I know King Henry, but we'll go with it. He's the best running back in the league, Saquon. And if they need to pass the ball, they will. They'll keep it simple. You know, Jalen Hurts was almost a passenger last week. He just handed the ball off. I mean, we saw it. AJ Brown was actually he was actually that entertained that he was reading the book on the sideline. He caught one pass for 10 yards, but he had time to, improve his knowledge in between series. Like this Eagles and the defense of the Eagles is just very, very good. And that linebacker, Zach Bourne, he's quick, he's nasty, and he just sniffs out a play. Like this Eagles team.
How many Packers got injured last week just from the physicality?
Well, 3 receivers, and some others, but I remember the 3 receivers because when they were going down, it's like, who even plays receiver now for the Packers? But they forced Jordan Love made some bad decisions, but they forced Jordan Love into some bad decisions. And yeah, I don't know how the Rams stop this Eagles team. I really don't. Well, they do by overcompensating to stop the run, and then the Eagles can pass it on the outsides. They don't really want to do that. They want to, this is a team that will go on 10, 11, 12 play drives and just completely force you to lose the will to live by they've still got the ball. Oh, it's another 3rd and short. And 3rd and short doesn't matter because of the tush push. The Rams, I think it's a great story to reach this point. This is a team that are 1-4, who are now in the NFC divisional rounds. But I think that was their moment last week against the Vikings. And the Vikings were on a bit of a come down after getting handled by the Lions. This Eagles team are not that. This Eagles team, I think it's a tall order for this Rams team. It's a 36-year-old quarterback going road in cold weather against this Eagles D line. Kyron Williams, I've heard, is a bit banged up as well. The Eagles corners, the young corners, Mitchell and DeJean, are going to make it. They're not going to stop the Rams receivers, but they're going to restrict them slightly. They're not going to take over the game like the Rams receivers. So, yeah, I think this is a real tall order for the Rams. I just think that last week was their Super Bowl with everything that was going on in LA. They won that. This is tougher. On the road, hostile environment, cold weather, ruthless squad in the Eagles. Offense, defense, offensive line. They'll beat you up. They don't care. They're just physical, like we saw against the Packers last week. And I think it's too much for the Rams. So give me the Eagles, and I think they cover the spread, which I believe is 6.5. My bet for this game would be, I'll be boring, but boring often wins you money in the NFL. We'll just go with Saquon again. Saquon scrimmage yards, 125.5. I repeat, 125.5. I think it comes in again because he went for 80 yards in one play. It against
Pretty
the Rams.
sure it was 2 plays like that.
Yeah, I think it's. I can't remember the stat that he had against the Rams in the regular season, but he did cover the.
It was over 300 scrimmage yards
in against the Rams.
Against the Rams, 300 total scrimmage yards.
Being serious? Oh goodness!
At least 2 touchdowns. It might have been 3, but I know it was 300, something like 303 or 305 scrimmage yards.
It was. Hold on. They won the game 23-14. Why does it not tell me that? Oh, I'll find it anyway. But yeah, I wrapped up that game. I wrapped up my thoughts on that game.
Good stuff. All right. Well, yeah. I don't think it's going to be like that, like the first game. You know, I think the Rams' defensive line have come on a bit since then. But this is a mammoth task. Like, for Saquon to go for 300 scrimmage yards against you, what can you limit him to is the question. Because you've got to do that in this game. And what I will say, the Packers, I mean, we're talking about the Saquon levels. The Packers limited him for basically the whole game apart from like the last play, where he was limited to 100 total scrimmage yards. But they struggled to pass the ball. They don't, like you said, Paul, they don't really want to pass the ball. But on the occasions that they were passing, I'm just blown away by the amount of time that this offensive line gives the quarterback. Like they make it so that you could basically do a press up and stand back up and throw the ball. But I think the issue is that the passing scheme is so basic that no one's open a lot of the time. So Hurts is just sitting in the pocket. There's no one open. So, yeah, you can throw it up to A.J. Brown if you want. He'll probably come down with it a number of times. But in the playoffs, there's probably an element of, well, we want to protect the football. So I can understand a bit of conservative mentality on that front. But they do struggle to pass the ball in rhythm. Like, that's why they lean so heavily on this run game. And normally that's fine because the run game is so elite that, yeah, Saquon Barkley sees one hole and it's 80 yards to the house. Can the Rams have the Rams improved that much? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I see a big day for Saquon Barkley in this game. bigger than the game that he had against the Packers, which for his standards was just moderate. I think he went for 130 in the end. Moderate day for Saquon Barkley. I fancy Saquon to go for possibly 200 in this game, and I'd like to see the odds for that. On the other side of the ball, you say Kyren Williams is banged up. Doesn't really matter because the Eagles are just not going to let you run on them. Can Stafford win in the passing game? It's been a struggle for them, I think. He made some big plays last week. I'm not saying that Stafford is struggling. I'm just saying the general passing game is struggling. Well, this team, I don't think they're going to give them a chance. Eagles win this. Eagles cover the 6.5 point spread. My preseason NFC championship was Lions at the Eagles. If it goes the way I think it will be Eagles at Lions.